Board was one of the very important sources for that. Your YouTube videos, for the explainers, the MCQ series on different reports, budget, economic surveys, that provided me with very good practice. I also extracted content out of those explainer videos to include in my notes.
Oliveboard का वो मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम था, उसमें अनिल सर के 2-3 सेशंस हुए थे, तो उन्होंने भी गाइड किया कि क्या अप्रोच रखना चाहिए, अगर मेंस का पेपर के लिए प्रिपेयर करना है तो वो कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है, प्रीलिम्स के लिए अगर अप्रोच रखना है तो वो कैसे रखना है, तो इस तरह से ओवरऑल फिर एग्जीक्यूशन के साथ में हुए।
Hello everyone, very good evening. Welcome to Oliveboard. My name is Varsha Ma'am and here we are in our Friday at 6 p.m. current affairs session, right? So in this particular session, we cover the current affairs related to agriculture and rural development portion, which are very important for your NABARD Grade A exam. Right? So let's start our discussion. So aspirants who are there, please let me know that everything is going on properly, like the sound, the screen is clearly visible and audible to you. Okay. So there are some important events that happen in this week from 11th of October till 17th of October, which we are going to cover here. Okay. So let's start our discussion and very good evening once again to everyone who are there in the class, right? So before going forward, aspirants, you can in the future. So please take a wise decision, start your preparations in a very well manner. Okay. Now going forward, this is a batch available for your preparations on the application of Oliveboard. Be the part of this batch. Okay. Particularly this batch I am emphasizing because if you are targeting the NABARD Grade A examination for the 2025, that time also it will help you. And if you are thinking like now let's clear my concept first and then I'll target the 2026 examination in a full-fledged manner. So that time also this batch will help you. Okay, so be the part of this batch and start your preparations with us. Okay, so let's talk about the different events that happen in this week. So on 11th of October, our Union Minister of State, okay, Shri Kirti Vardhan Singh, he shares India's vision for sustainable, nature positive urban development at the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources World Conservation Congress that held at Abu Dhabi. So recently this Congress held and different ministers become the part of this Congress and they share their views and they share their visions. Okay, so in a similar manner, our Minister of State, Shri Kirti Vardhanji, he also become the part of this conference. And what he said that we are working in the direction in such a manner so that whatever the actions we are taking, that will help in sustainable development and that will be nature positive urban development. So this was a vision discussed by our Union Minister of State, Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Shri Kirti Vardhan Singh ji. Okay, and yeah, so majorly the high level dialogue was on around the topic like transforming our urban environment pathways to sustainability. If you want that our nature will not have to suffer and we will do the developments also, so we need to do some transformations. Okay, we need to do some transformations in our urban environment. Okay, and then only we'll move towards the sustainability. Okay, so this was a main motive that was discussed by him during this congress. Okay, now another important points that was discussed were he also mentioned that we are working in the direction, okay, we are doing a lot of effort so that we will become a zero carbon emission country. We are trying to fulfill our targets to become sustainable, to show sustainable developments and sustainable growth. And as well as we want that our actions will not affect the nature or the climate change that we are observing. So our actions will not cause any further harm to our climate. So India's effort to foster carbon markets and promote renewable energy generations are a step towards achieving the clarion call of mission life, which serves as a guiding principle for sustainability initiatives across the globe. Okay, so we are working in this direction, and we had launched some specific missions or specific initiatives which are focusing on urban development, but um, their main objectives are around that these initiatives will not cause any harm to the nature. Okay, although these initiatives are taken to promote the urban development, but the main framework is designed in such a manner that these initiatives will not cause any harm to the nature and our environment. Okay, and the flagship initiatives taken in this direction are Smart Cities Mission, Mainstream Energy Efficiency, Renewable Integration, Sustainable Mobility, and Resilient Infrastructures. Okay. Now, if moving on another part, government is providing support government is providing support to India's cities through these are the three key pillars with the help of which our government is providing us support so that we will work in this direction of urban development, nature positive urban development. And how government is providing, what are these three pillars? First is government is doing efforts in providing support for enabling framework and standards for green buildings. Whatsoever the new buildings will be constructed, they will be the green buildings. There are energy codes, there are municipal finance. So that's how government is supporting. Another is financing and risk sharing being advanced through central grants, targeted viability gap funding. So whatsoever the viability gap is, so funding for that, and ongoing efforts to expand the city's access to municipal bond markets, including green bonds. Okay. Yeah, Anjali, just a second, I'm clearing your doubt. This is capacity building in knowledge systems, including training, data platforms, and model projects under smart cities, Amrut, and urban planning reforms. Okay, so these are the three key pillars with the help of which our government is supporting this urban development projects in our country. Okay, so yeah. Your doubt is, will the general awareness of tomorrow's RBI paper will be helpful in the NABARD general awareness? Just a second. Yeah, tomorrow you are going to have your RBI Grade B examination. Yeah, that general awareness is also helpful for your NABARD Grade A examination because the general awareness portion is all about the important updates or the latest informations released by all the ministries and as well as the static GK portion. Yeah, more or less general awareness component of all the regulatory exam uh, can be covered in one way. Okay, you don't need to search for the different sources to cover your general awareness portion. Okay, so that can be covered in one way, right? So that is an advantage of this exam, even though the reasoning component, the quantitative aptitude component, and the general English component of your phase one, that is more or less similar in all the regulatory bodies exam. Okay, so you can, if you are targeting a whole sum these examination and you can focus on these subjects in one lot and that will definitely help you, right? Now moving ahead, yeah. So another such important points are, and these are our country's national programs in this direction. So these are some national programs. So we are having the smart city mission. So under this smart city missions, see, we are aware about aspirational districts under which 100 villages were selected. Then we talk about the Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana under which hundreds districts were selected, where we try to improve the agriculture productivity of that areas and we try to expand the uh, areas under the agriculture in that areas and full-fledged providing them the good opportunity so that the productivity from that areas improve. Similarly, the smart cities mission, I'm just trying to relate these components so that you will know all are having a basic target of covering the 100. Okay, the number that they are covering is 100. So under the smart cities mission, 100 cities are covered. They are planned central funding with local planning to roll out so that smart street lighting, rooftop solar, and building energy management systems. Okay, so we are working on building all these things, and that's how they will help in reducing the electricity use while improving the urban services. Energy efficient building codes guide cities in ensuring new construction is climate friendly. And these cities are having the energy efficient building codes, and that shows that they are climate friendly in cities now. Then is we talk about the Energy Conservation Act, okay, and this act was recently amended in the year 2022, right? What are the major amendments in this act that strengthen energy efficiency energy efficiency standards for buildings, appliances, and industries, and enables the establishment of a domestic carbon credit market that rewards cities and businesses for reducing their energy footprint. So, how much the cities and the businesses will reduce their carbon, on that basis, they will be provided with certain credits, okay, for reducing their energy footprints. They will be provided with certain credits in the market, right? Next important points, the next important initiative or the program, that is the Amrut program. So what that Amrut program is all about? So that has enabled municipalities to upgrade to energy efficient water supply and pumping system. Okay, lowering, so when the energy efficient water supply and pumping system will be installed, what kind of advantages you will have? It will reduce the cost, and as well as the energy demands will be reduced, because now you are using more energy efficient system. Okay, so these are the national programs in the city development, nature friendly city development, I'm sorry. Okay. Usha, what is your exact question? Yeah, please let me know the exact question. Now, on that basis, I'll tell you if it is in my subject or if I'll be aware about it. Then only I'll be able to tell you. Okay? Please let me know the exact question that you want to ask. Okay? So these were the important objectives that we are focusing on when we talk about the nature positive urban development that our minister discussed during this World Congress Conservation Congress, which was held at Abu Dhabi. And he also mentioned that as a countries of global south, including India, are urbanizing rapidly. We are observing that urbanization is going on. Most of the people who are living in the rural areas before, they are shifting to the urban areas, and that's how the development projects are going on in the areas. So how we can do this nature positive urban development by focusing on more energy efficient systems, so that we need, obviously we need, when most of the population will shift to a specific area, we need to grow that, we need to develop a lot of infrastructure there, so that most of the people will get a house to live. Okay, and that will also help in the economy of the country, but we need to do these practices in such a manner that it will be more green, it will be environment friendly. Okay, so we need to talk about all these practices in detail. Okay, so as a countries of global south, including India, are urbanizing rapidly, our goal must be to create cities that are more livable, green, and inclusive places where aspirations can thrive without losing. So that will have the human touch, right? Now moving on to another target, another important news. So that is the news of 12th of October 2025. So recently I took a session, you can watch our YouTube class, where I told about the said recently the fund allocation was done. Okay, fund allocation was done for this Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana and Atmanirbharta in pulses. For these two schemes, fund has allocated. So during that time, I already mentioned you nearly 5,000, approximately 5,000 crore fund is additionally allocated for certain different projects, and one such project is related with development of the animal husbandry sector, because the people who are living in the rural areas, they are not doing the farm operation, they are not related with the agriculture operations only, they are engaged in other operations also. Okay, they are engaged in other operations also. Although I'm not aware about it, but I think it was 1939 or 35, because this is from your current affair portion. Okay, so I am in a doubt. It was in 35 or 39, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Usha. And other students who are in the class, please correct me. When was the RBI established? The one thing that I know about it, it was before independence. So, but I have a doubt in it was in 35 or 39. Okay, you can cross check it, right? So where we are, let's talk about this campaign here. What was it about? Yeah. So as I told you, so government of India, when this two fund allocation for these two missions was going on, and it is also on 11th of October news article. Okay, so giving a major push to India's livestock and dairy sector, project worth rupees 947 crore were inaugurated, and foundation stone was laid down. Okay, and pivotal role, and during this mission we discussed about the pivotal role of livestock fisheries and elite activities in strengthening. See, as I already told you so many times, when we talk about upliftment of the life of the rural part of our country, it cannot only depend upon the agriculture sector. We need to uplift the other important elite sectors also, like the dairy sector, fishery sector, and all such. Okay, so that's how when the fund was allocated for Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Yojana and Atmanirbharta and Purses, at the same time fund was allocated for the development and for the upliftment of the fishery sector, livestock sector as well. Okay, and at the same time, more than one, it was also mentioned that till date, more than 125 crore vaccines have been administered free of cost to protect animals from disease like FMD. Okay, most of the cattle and the buffaloes, like the members of bovine families, they suffered from these kind of diseases. And for for the better treatment of the animals, more than 125 crore cat vaccines had been administered, and that is free of cost. And why the step was taken, so that the animal become healthy and the worries of the farmers have also reduced. Okay, and when why we are taking a step ahead in maintaining a good livestock population for our animal husbanders or the people who are living in the rural part of the country, because we want that they should have another source of income also. Okay, when the farmers will have always a source of income available to you, an alternate source of income available to you, so what will happen, they will try to improve their standard of living, and that's how they will try to provide the better facilities to their cattle now, or or the buffaloes whom they are rearing and managing. So therefore emphasis is being laid on animal husbandry, fish farming, and beekeeping for additional income. Okay, so during that time we need to empower small farmers in the landless families, and that's how focus was also on these practices also. Another important point to discuss was, so in this regard, certain new institutions, foundation stone was laid, and new like discussions was done. And one of the key highlight was the inauguration. So first in vitro fertilization lab was established, and the foundation stone for that was laid in northeastern region, and that was under Rashtriya Gokul Mission, and the investment related to it was rupees 28.93 crore. Okay, so that is to boost our dairy development and breed improvement in the northeast region of the country. Okay, and apart from that, national program for dairy development, we know about it. So under this, multiple large scale dairy infrastructure projects were also inaugurated. Okay, and I'm giving you the details here, you can go through this, although there is a no need to learn about the datas mentioned here. What you need to know, like where is a newly established milk union. Okay, you should aware about the one is there greenfield dairy plant. Where is a greenfield dairy plant established? So it is in Telangana. Okay, so this cattle feed plant. Where is a cattle feed plant? So just know the names of these important new infrastructure that was established under the National Program for Dairy Development. All right. Now, under the Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund, so as we are aware about the Rural Infrastructure Development Fund for the infrastructure development in the rural areas, we talk about the agriculture infrastructure funds, which are related with the warehouse establishments, storage establishments, silos, and gins, and all that. Okay. Similarly, we have the funds for animal husbandry infrastructure development. Okay, and that fund help in the development of the infrastructures where we are keeping our cattles. Okay, because in the certain places we are maintaining the dairies where a huge population of cattles are kept. So we need a larger space area so that the maintenance of all the different operations can work well. Okay, so 10 projects worth rupees 303.81 crore were inaugurated across multiple states, strengthening the country's capacity for feed, milk, and animal product processing. Okay, apart from that, Niti Aayog releases a report on India's. Now we are having the another news. So that's all about the specific incidents and the specific events related to the animal husbandry that was launched with the PM Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. Now we have a very important news. So recently on 13th of October, Niti Aayog has released a report, and this report is related with the fishery sector. Okay, India's blue economy. Okay, and that is to strategy for harnessing deep sea and offshore fisheries. Okay, so this is a new report by Niti Aayog. Please mention this point. Which of the following is a new report released by Niti Aayog, and that is India's Blue Economy Report. Okay, and this report was launched by Professor Ramesh Chand, he is a member of Agriculture Niti Aayog, and Shri BVR Subramanyam, he is CEO of Niti Aayog in a special event. So please mention in your notebook who is a CEO of Niti Aayog, because you might have this question in your exam. And this report is presented by Dr. Neelam Patel, Program Director, Agriculture Technology, and the report related to the strategies and the plans we want to do for the improvements in the pulses production. That particular report was also presented by Dr. Neelam Patel. Okay, that's why I mentioned it here. That the same person has earlier presented the report related to the strategies that we can adopt for improvement in the pulses production, and that report was also released by Niti Aayog. Okay, you can watch the session. It is available for you on YouTube. Now let's talk about some important points about our fishery sector. We all know that fishery sector is one of the very important sector which is contributing to our employment, and as well as to providing the livelihood to the people who are living near to the coastal line areas. And we as a country, India as a country, is the second largest fish producing country in the world. And we as a country contributing 8% of the global production of fish sector. Okay. And India's fishery sector supports nearly 30 million livelihoods and contributes significantly to export. Like whatever we are obtaining from our fishery sector, we are exporting them significantly. Okay, with fishery products earning rupees 60,523 crore in fiscal year 2023-24. So that much development we had done in this sector. So that's why it is very important to think about our fishery sector, to take specific measures in this direction, because this sector is emerging out as one of the specific sector from where most of the people will get their livelihood in future also, because it is considered as a sustainable source of income. Okay, and India's exclusive economic zone of over 2 million square kilometer, deep waters beyond the continental shelf, 11,098 kilometer coastline across 9 coastal states and 4 union territories. What they are doing, they are providing immense potential to expand its marine fisheries into the deep seas. And despite a thriving fishery sector, the deep sea fishery sources beyond the continental shelf, they remain largely unexploited. So that's why we are moving in this direction to make the maximum of the production from this area, so that we can improve our export, and that's how we can help in building of our economy. Okay, so these are the specific measures we are considering. And what we are mentioning, that is very important, that this exclusive economic zone, which is of over 2 million square kilometer, that has an estimated potential yield of 7.16 million tons, which is including both conventional resources and the non-conventional resources. So if we will be able to extract out the maximum productivity from this zone, we will be able to improve our economy. Okay. And in this report, the specific highlight or the specific mention was related to the responsible utilization of deep sea and offshore fisheries that can enhance seafood export, the seafood that we are exporting to other countries, and that's how it will help in the generation of employment. See, whenever we are started giving, for example, we talk about the Manrega projects, okay, that is related with the establishment of the water structures. Recently, the Amrit Sarovars were constructed, and all the people who have the Manrega card or not getting the employment opportunities, they were provided employment opportunities with the help of that. So that's how this Amrit Sarovar project provide employment opportunities to the like good population of our country. Similarly, when we start doing development works in this specific direction, or we start boosting our blue economy, like most of the peoples or the families who are living in the coastal areas, they will start getting the employment opportunities. Okay, they will start getting the good income, and that's how they will start improving their standards of living. And that's how reduce pressure on coastal fisheries while ensuring ecological sustainability. So this report is mentioning, although we know that this particular area is having a lot of potential, but it doesn't mean that we start exploiting it. We start taking out the maximum out of it. We need to take all the action very judicially so that the pressure on the coastal fisheries will be reduced, and that's how the ecological sustainability will be ensured. Okay. Another uh, during that time, comprehensive framework covering the deep sea fishing sector within India's exclusive economic zone and international waters access through regional fisheries agreements. Also, that was also presented. And this framework adopts, so this framework where we are talking about, okay, we are having a good potential in our coastal areas, but let's talk about the deep sea fishing now, so that the coastal areas pressure will be reduced. Okay, so we need to focus on certain frameworks that will be adopted as a science-based, technology enabled, socially inclusive, and ecologically sustainable approach to harnessing India's deep sea fisheries potential, right? Another, this report has identified 6 key policy interventions, and these 6 key policy interventions were related to overhauling policies and regulations, strengthening institutional and capacity building, modernizing fleets and upgrading infrastructure, promoting sustainable fishery management, mobilizing resources and financing, and enhancing local community participation and partnerships. Okay, so the people who are living near the coastal line areas. Okay, we as a country found that this area is giving us a lot of good outputs, and with this we can improve the productivity and we can improve our economy as well, without considering the importance of the individuals who are directly attached to that specific area. We will not be able to grow. Okay, if we want to grow as a country, we need to consider the individuals who are directly associated with that particular area, because they know the fundamentals, they know the basics that we as a scientist can adopt, so that the overall and sustainable development of that area can occur well. Okay, now, recognizing the capital intensive nature of, so that's how by knowing the capital intensive nature of deep sea fishing and others, this particular report has focused on, we need to prepare some strategies so that without causing a lot of negative impact on the coastal areas, we can extract out the maximum output from the deep sea. Okay. So these were the main important highlights related to this particular report. And other than that, an indicative costing framework for the 3 phases has been provided by considering the convergence of centrally sponsored and central sector schemes related to fisheries. And what are these costing framework? For the phase 1, which is related with laying the foundation and fostering early growth, that is 3 years. Okay, that is from 2025 to 2028. And for the phase 2, that is related with scaling up and achieving global competitiveness. Okay, so for that, the time period will be of 4 years, and that is from 2029 to 32. Then then the phase 3, where we want to be the global leadership in sustainable deep sea fisheries, and that will have a target of 8 years and beyond from 2033 onwards. Okay, so we had mentioned about our targets, like how we can work in boosting up our blue economy by focusing on some strategies which will help in harnessing maximum of the productivity from the deep sea and offshore fisheries as well. Okay, so these are the important points in this direction. Now moving ahead. Now let's talk about another important points, that is World Food Day. So World Food Day, I'll take a specific session related to World Food Day, okay? And here I'm just giving you the brief points related to the World Food Day. So on 16th of November, 16th of October, it is recognized as World Food Day. Okay, so during that particular event, let's talk about some key takeaways here. The detailed information will be taken in a specific session. Okay, so World Food Day is observed every year on 16th of October. And what is the main aim to recognize or give a specific area, give a day, like let's not, sorry. Okay, so World Food Day, why we decided to have this particular day as a World Food Day, so that we can promote awareness about food security, nutrition, and sustainable agriculture practices. And this year, the theme of 2025 World Food Day is hand in hand for better foods and a better future. Okay, and this tagline, this theme line highlights the power of global collaborations to transform agri-food system. We discussed about the agri-food system before also in our sessions. Okay, and in this, what we are just talking about the key takeaways. Okay, in detail, I'll take a specific session to discuss about it. So India recorded a rise of about 90 million metric tons in food grain production over the last decade. Fruits and vegetable output increased by more than 64 million metric tons. India is first globally in milk and millets production. This is very important. And we are second largest in fish, fruits, and vegetable production. Honey and egg production have also doubled compared to 2024. Okay, and what are the flagship initiatives that help our country in doing all this? Like we are having the National Food Security Act. Okay, Garib Kalyan Yojana, we have PM Poshan along with measures such as rice fortification, smart PDS reforms. They are reinforcing India's commitment to ensuring food and nutritional security in the country. And this World Food India. So recently we covered about the World Food India in a specific session that celebrates India's growing role as a global leader in food production, processing, and innovation. So we are emerging out as a global leader in food production, processing, and innovation. Okay, so that's all about this particular incident. Other than that, recently to strengthen the KVKs. What are KVKs? They are the Krishi Vigyan Kendras. So they attached to the districts of our country, we are having nearly 731 Krishi Vigyan Kendras. So what they do, like the scientists who are working there, who are the part of this Krishi Vigyan Kendras, they work in providing the uh, most appropriate and scientifically proven practices that the farmer should adopt in their farm field so that they will be able to get good productivity out of their land areas. Okay, so recently what happened, our Union Minister Shri Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji, he holds high level meeting so that this KVKs need to be strengthened. Okay, where he discussed about some strategies so that this KVKs will be strengthened, and that's how they will work in specific direction so that they will emerge out as more effective and more empowered. Or during this high level meeting, our Union Agriculture Minister and Agriculture Secretary Dr. Devesh Chaturvedi and our ICR Director General Dr. Mangilal Jadji, they were present during this high level meeting. Okay, and they talk about how we can work on expanding this network because it is very important, and that's how the whatever the scientific practices we are having with us, we will be able to transfer these technologies to the small farmers because they are the established agriculture kendras, okay, which are the primary medium to reach farmers, playing a crucial role in technology dissemination to the farmers, to the training of the farmers, and delivering the agriculture innovation to the farmers, which the farmers can adopt in their field areas and start getting the good outputs from them. Okay, so KVKs or Krishi Vigyan Kendras, now they need to be come out as a more aggressive institutions or the kendras, okay, because so that they will actively facilitate the implementation of the government's farmers friendly policies, programs, and the schemes. That's how the farmers welfare and awareness will be promoted. our government is launching a lot of policies and the programs which are in the favor of farmers. But what if the farmers, the intended farmers, will not get the uh, awareness about it, like this particular program is for them? So the Krishi Vigyan Kendras have to actively emerge out as an organization, because they are the direct medium, the primary medium, or they are the primary sources which are directly connected with the farmers. So KVKs have to actively consider their parts and start working on this direction. Okay, so in this direction, when KVK and when these meetings were held, we came to know about that KVKs are not having the adequate financial facilities. So government has also decided to provide them adequate financial facilities, human resources, technical support, so that they can streamline their functioning and enhance their effectiveness. Okay, so these are the important points discussed here. Now let's talk about another important events. Every drop counts. So we talk about per drop more crop. Okay, this is a big line. This is a new initiative, and that is for Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, and for the uh, judicious use of the water, because we know that the water that is very important for our crop, the availability of that water is not so adequate. Okay, so there's a need to have some specific measures, so that whatever the water that is available to us for our agriculture operations, we need to use that water so judicially. Okay, so every drop counts. New per drop more crop flexibility to help states strengthen water conservation and the farmers' income. Okay, so this program is launched to promote the efficient water use and the boost the farmers' income, right? And what this program will do, what this initiative will do, it will empower the state and the union territories so that they will start taking up micro irrigation, water storage and conservation project. Okay, they will start taking the advantage of it. We need to tell them out the advantages of micro irrigation or the modern irrigation practices, so that whatever the water that is available to them, they can utilize that water properly for doing their farm operations without wasting a single drop of water, right? And apart from that, these systems can be developed for individual farmers. And so there's a need to develop some systems which can be helpful for the individual farmers as well as the community use, ensuring sustainable water use for micro irrigation practices. Okay. And the funds for such activities were limited to 20% of the total allocation for each state and 40% for northeastern states. Okay. That's how the fund allocation will be done. Okay. Yeah. Now we have one more important news. So recently, our Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji, okay, he visited Cape Town, South Africa, and he became the part of G20 Environment Ministers meeting. Okay, and there he represent India. Okay, and the theme of this meeting was solidarity, equality, and sustainability. Okay, and there he represent India by saying that the targets that we took during the Paris Agreement that held in the year 2015. Okay, we were we voluntarily give some targets to us towards sustainability, and we as a country has achieved a target before the designated timelines. Okay, so that issue was that particular point was mentioned by our Union Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change during that particular meeting. Okay, so that's all about the news, important news from this week, which are very important for your NABARD Grade A examination, right? So here I'm ending a session for now. And before ending the session, I just want to tell you, aspirants, if you are thinking that you should target the NABARD Grade A examination, this can be a very good opportunity for you guys to be the part of this batch. And recently the class had started in this batch. Like today, I took the lecture number 3. Okay. So become the part of this class and take the live classes. Start asking your doubts with me and other educators in the live classes and clear all your queries of the static portion, because it is very important to do the basic studies or the foundational study if you want to qualify any competitive examination. Okay, so here I am ending a session for now. Bye bye and all the best. And you can connect with me on my Telegram, that is Varsha. Okay, bye bye, all the very best. Take care.